Welcome. Thursday morning live stream. How are y'all doing? My man, Ian Dawkins. Hey, from dedicated UK fan of the channel. I know exactly who you are, Ian. You don't miss these. I love it. You love the live chats. Well, I love seeing you all the time. It's awesome. Funfi Empire. It's not just a village, it's an empire. Have Wiim Ultra. I want to know best Funfi amp with trigger. Wait for Emotiva Executive Mini, IEMA A80, Fosi ZA3. Any issues with triggers as I have never used it before? No, generally no. I mean, whenever you turn on the source, then it sends a signal. We're going to talk about a couple of those today. And I think I put them in the description because the ZA3 is on a pretty good sale today. All right. I'm going to come back to that, though. So we're going to get into all the sales. There's not a ton of them, but there are a few, and they're pretty decent sales. Anonymous. Hey, from Israel. Hey to you. I asked 3E Audio, why aren't they sending you review samples? And they actually did. Yes, I do have them back in October. I just got mine A5 today and so happy. 2 TPA 3251 chips, 182 AE sale. I'll have to check it out. I do have them, and I need to put that on the list. So thanks for bringing that up. To remind me, hey, doing great from New Haven, Connecticut. What up, Scott? It's early. Hey, from Spring, Texas. Hello to you. From north of Spring, Texas. Feliciano, he's a member. You're the best. Right after this, Feliciano, I'm going to make my first members only video. It's going to be transformative. It's going to be groundbreaking. It's not going to be any of those things, but you get some behind the scenes look, maybe some non-filtered opinions on my members' videos. So if you're not a member, check it out if you want to. Bill, Connecticut. Very nice. Hey there. Thanks for the heads up on the Wiim Ultra sale. They got rid of that sale yesterday afternoon sometime. So I don't know if they sold, because generally speaking, they don't stop those sales until midnight. So I don't know if they sold a bunch of them. I haven't checked. But anyway, it was only going on for not even the full day. But I'm glad you got one, because they're awesome. Western Mass here. Noob. Welcome, Noob. You're in the right place. We were all noobs once. None of us came out of the birthing canal knowing everything there is to know about hi-fi. Scott, I had an issue with the Emotiva A2 Mini and Ultra trigger. Oh, okay. I bet if you email them, they may help you out, because there's certain stuff like voltages and stuff, but I would think that it would be some type of, I would think they would have some type of standard. Sully, another member. Good morning from Northeast Georgia. Good morning to you. Hey, look at that. Scott Farnham, new YouTube member. Thank you, Scott, very much. Steve Gray, my man. Hey, if you, so I'm going to plug the Patreon here, not just because it benefits the channel, but because I really think it brings a lot of people together. And that was one of the things when I was coming up younger, I didn't have anybody to talk to about it. But with the internet, there are so many forums and places you can meet. Unfortunately, a lot of those can be, not a lot, some can be negative in nature. But one of the great things about my Patreon, the Facebook group, the Discord server, and the Zoom calls is we have a great group of people. We've become friends over the year. And Steve Gray is one of those, just an integral part to our community. And every Sunday he gives a take on a really great record. Usually it's because it's recorded well, but a true outlier. Does it every Sunday, and it's great. It introduces me to a lot of music that I probably wouldn't have listened to otherwise. So Scott, great to see you. I'm glad you're here. I have not reviewed any Mission speakers, unfortunately. We got Frankfurt, Germany in the house. My stepson is minoring in German, which he just mentioned yesterday. He's really enjoying the German language. Chilling in the mountains of East Tennessee. That sounds wonderful. Hey, Brian Romska, another channel member, another great part of the Patreon community. Coffee time with Randy. That's right. That's another thing I need to do today is order more coffee mugs. The real coffee, good ones, not the pre-printed kinds that come from wherever. We are here for all the savagery. I called them. They said, just leave the amp on. Oh, that's what I do. So I've got a stack of shit in the living room right now. It's been on for weeks. Sully, your Discord channel has the best bang for the buck since I've gotten back into audio. The people there are fantastic and so helpful. They are, and it has nothing to do with me. I may have opened the door and kind of created this place for people to go, but it all comes down to the attitude and the pedigree of the people that are in there helping out, and the generosity, really. Not only generosity from a time perspective, but people in my Discord server send stuff to other people, free stuff, and sometimes they trade stuff. So it's all a testament to you all. It doesn't have anything to do with me. So yeah. Your new t-shirt is high value, great quality. Love mine. Yeah, wearing it again, second day in a row. Listen, I woke up late, had to get the kids to school, and it was laying right beside the bed, so I grabbed it again. But if you're a double XL, I think we may only have one left. But if you're interested, all my t-shirts are going to be done in-house now, which may be slower. I may have fewer designs, but they're good quality. And I have absolutely no qualms about, well, obviously I recommend them because I made them, but I'm proud of these. They're very good t-shirts. I don't think I put the link in the description, but you can grab the link off of any of my other videos. John Shepler's a new member. You're so nice, John. Argentina. I don't know if we've ever had anybody here from Argentina. Oh, can you talk about the real importance about oxygen-free wire for speakers? I don't really know the science behind it. I just know that it's kind of a standard. So that's just what I buy. I don't buy, what is it, copper-clad aluminum. I buy all copper, or like 99% copper, and then the oxygen-free. That's pretty standard, though. So you can find stuff out there. Does it make a difference? Probably not. But that's the standard, and that's kind of what I buy. It's a little bit more expensive, but you can find good stuff out there. Brian Romska's talking to John. Dan, my man, another channel member. SIL Digital. Morning, just sat down with my burger and coffee. Man, that sounds like a wonderful morning. Old guy Hifi in the house throwing down $10 super chat. Thank you, Ed. Ed just went over 20,000 subscribers on his channel. If you're not subscribed, you really should. Great guy, super knowledgeable about everything. He's been in the industry forever and works his tail off on YouTube, which is awesome. And just a great guy. You're gonna hit 100,000 in no time at all, Ed. Let's see. If you'll make a smaller espresso shot glass, I'll definitely buy one. Hey, that's actually a good idea. I gotta get a list going. Actually, just made myself an Americano. I bought my wife, but really me, an espresso machine for Christmas. Kind of an expensive one. And legitimately, we haven't used the regular coffee machine since then. It's great. We use it every day. I don't even know how to spell espresso. Espresso. Shot glass. All right. I think shot glasses in general probably sell very well. Okay. Discord? Question mark. Yeah. If you sign up for my Patreon, there's a pinned comment. And so we have a Discord server for all the patrons and probably people that have quit the patron program, but they're still in there because I have no intention of going and cleaning it up. Although I do have moderators in there. So if someone's being negative or disruptive, they get booted. Quickly, Dave, good morning. Since watching last year about Wiim Ultra, nice. IEMA A80, nice. I really like that one, which I bought direct from IEMA, and the SMSL PO100 from AliExpress. My wallet thanks you. That's a good setup. All right. We got Bobtown Car Guy. Good morning, Randy. I will be attending Expona this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. Well, hopefully we get to meet in real life, not fake life. I'm only going to be there on Friday, though. Bulgaria? What's up? Thanks for being here, Gwen Co. Sorry, I have two screens open, and so this one's a little bit smaller, and I need new glasses. I think my prescription has changed. We got Evan from California. Which sub $200 speaker would you suggest to use with the Fosi Audio ZA3 and ZD3? I really like the ZD3. ZA3 is really good too, and it's on sale. I'm also willing to roll the preamps if needed. The use for this setup will be for music and TV use. I like the Cambridge Audio SX50. They're really good. I think they're better than the Sony SSCS5s. Then that's what I would go with. If you've got an extra $100, you can get the SX60, which is a 6.5-inch version, but they're really good. I like those. Yeah. I don't think anybody would be offended by their sound. They're not too warm. They're not too sparkly. They still have bass, so they're really good. Really, really good. What up, Edric? Is the sun even up in Texas now? I haven't looked outside. I took the kids to school, but I woke up late, so I was running behind. I do a daily video on another channel, so I had to knock that out really quick. So a little bit behind, but that's okay. We're here. We're going to hang out. Let's see if I missed any super chats. All right, did I? No. Oh, God, have I? All right, let's get into it. Copy that. And put it in here. I'll just go through. This is kind of like a, whoops. No, I should just do that here. This is kind of like, I guess, not a true like Amazon Prime Day, but it's called the spring sale. So it's kind of like that, I guess. I don't like that. Let's make it bigger. There we go. It doesn't look very good because I have my screen. Anyway, we're going to have to deal with it. So this is the ZD3 on sale for $152. I think it's worth every penny of the retail price, really. So you have balanced outputs, single-ended outputs, coax in, HDMI ARC in, Bluetooth if you want it, optical in, full-size USB, and it has trigger in and trigger out. So absolutely jam-packed, and it sounds really good. 9039 Q2M. So I like that one. So that's one. It's linked in the description if you want it. But 150, there's not really another DAC out there that has HDMI ARC. I mean, there's probably something out there, but not at this quality because it's built quite well. Yeah, I have one. Should I have one right here? It's built quite well. And even if we look back even just a year ago, there wasn't really something that was super solid at this price that you can do HDMI with. It's 150. The problem is Wiim is always running these crazy sales. So if you spend like another $100, you get a streamer, you get DSP and everything. So even though this is a really good deal, it's super hard to argue the Wiim Ultra. Speaking of Wiim, while the Ultra is not on sale, damn it. Oops, sorry, I cussed. I haven't done that in a long time. All right. Copy. Anyway, the Pro is on sale. There we go. 126. Great price on this. If you have an external DAC, it's still fine. By itself, it's okay. But this doesn't have the upgraded DAC in it. But for $126, I mean, think about this. You can use it as a wireless subwoofer connection, and wireless subwoofer connections are $120. And then you do get bass management in the sense that even though this doesn't have a subwoofer out, you still get bass management if you're using the EQ. Now, you're going to have to kind of like get in there and play around with it. But for $126 to get everything that you get on this is pretty outstanding. All right, let's go back to some comments. Romania is in the house. Old guy Hifi appreciates the well wishes. I appreciate you. Ed, you're always so kind to me. You're always giving me money on these things. Rick Harms, channel member. Good morning. Good morning to you, my friend. Hey, we got some Arundels. Bought a pair of Arundel 1723S monitors based on your review. Should be coming later this week. Can't wait. That is one serious speaker. I mean, it is built well, very neutral, but man, it's a serious speaker. It's big. Oh, what kind of espresso machine? Now we're talking good stuff. It's a Breville. I'm not super stoked about the build quality of it at the price, because I think the MSRP on that thing was $1,000, and around Christmas time it was 20% markdown. Now, I don't know if that's a legitimate price. Maybe it always sells at $800, but I pulled the trigger. Makes great coffee. It's easy for my wife to use because she can just stick the milk in there, and then it like does its own thing and heats it up to a specific temperature, and then it quits. So it's easy to use, especially if you're into cappuccinos or anything. Let me see if I can bring it up. Actually, I know I can bring it up. I'll just bring up my previous orders. I'm going to have to maximize this, though. Bear with me. All right. We go to orders. We'll search Breville. Nope. I want to search it in my orders. Here we go. Espresso. Come on, Randy. Riveting stuff. This is great stuff. You're going to really enjoy it. Here we go. I need to minimize this. And here we go. All right, this is the one that I got. Breville, the barista. Well, look at that. It is $1,000. Breville, the barista touch espresso machine with a grinder and auto milk frother. Espresso maker with touchscreen and seconds heat up. Yeah, this is the one I got. It's pretty good. I don't love. There's some plasticky parts on here, which I don't love, but hey, it works. I'm using it. I'm using it right now. Enjoying the products of it right now. I ground my coffee beans every morning. We need a larger cam coffee mug for the black coffee people out there. I don't disagree with that. This size is the only cup that actually fits in there. So if you want to put it in a bigger cup, you have to make multiples of these and then pour it into a bigger cup. But for sure, That's another thing I need to finalize. I think I'm going to change companies because I was close to ordering some stuff and they didn't get the logo quite right or big enough. And then I think I'm going to go with somebody else because I'm not happy with it. All right, let's see what else we have down here. Whew, lots of comments. I totally second that question. Just switch from external sound card to SMSL U1 DAC. Can you ask whatever question that is again, like down there, so that it kind of shows up? Because I'm probably not going to be able to find it. I am new to the DAC world. What is the difference between a sound? Oh, happenstance. I just clicked on it. A sound card in a computer to an external DAC. Any info is appreciated. There's not really any difference. The sound card is a DAC, but it's being powered by the computer. There are differences within the analog output stage. So an external DAC is going to generally have discrete components in the analog output stage. Generally, not all the time, but generally. Whereas a sound card doesn't always have discrete components on the analog output stage. Does that matter? Not always. I know there's some, you can get some motherboards that have a pretty decent sound card, or you can get a pretty decent sound card. But an SU1 or a purpose-built DAC for audio, not always, but in most cases, is probably going to sound a little bit better than the sound card in your computer, unless it's spec'd out to be a really good sound card. And a lot of gaming computers have pretty good sound cards spec'd out. So anyway, I hope that answers your question. Scott Paler, what's happening? All is well. I'm behind on all things YouTube. Anyway, keep rocking. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Does it do room correction with the app? If you're talking about the Wiim Pro, then yes, it does room correction. Absolutely. Even I think the Wiim Mini does room correction. Thank you for, hey, Udian. Thank you for easing me into the world of audiophiles with great hacks. Namaste from India. Hey, man, how are you? We don't get many people from India in here. For best results in espresso, you need freshly roasted coffee. Yeah, that's like step 2. So step 1 was just getting one that's easily usable. Step 2 is actually finding a decent place locally that I can get good freshly roasted beans from. And actually, I want to sell Cheap Audio Man coffee, which has been on my list to do for a long time, but I don't want to. I want to do it right, and there's going to be a lot of work involved with that. So obviously, it hasn't been done. Bro, you the best, man. No, I'm not. You are. I'm waiting for you to review the SMSL PA200 and the D400 Pro DAC. Very interested in those two products. Anyway, continue doing what you do. You the best, bro. Man, I would love to. Let me put this on the list too. I'm gonna reach out to A-Post. They're usually pretty good about sending me anything. There's a couple places I have for SMSL. Is this pen done? Are you kidding me? This one I'm not going to throw because I'll break a window, and it was a gift from my wife. Okay, here we go. This one's not working either, but I can't throw it. Well, let's see if the fountain pen works. Incidentally, this was a gift from Carlo. Carlo La Rosa. He's a journalist. This one's done too. He's a journalist for Secrets of Home Theater, Secrets of Hi-Fi and Home Theater. Great guy. Okay. Well, I'll try to remember this. Chances are I will not, but I will try to remember it. Randy reviewed the SMSL U1. Look it up. It's very good. Are you talking the SU one? Yeah, probably so. All right, let's go down. Charles Drake, $10. You need to get Ethiopian beans if you want great coffee. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Penn Road Rage. Listen, I've got so much going on, and coffee beans is not high on the priority list. Every day, there's like 3, 4, 5 things that don't get done, and I just continue to not get things done. Sith audio pens don't come with ink. I have extra ink in here, but I just it's a process, especially with the fountain pens. Cheap audio man pens. That's not a bad idea. All right, you can buy a home coffee bean roaster and green coffee and roast it yourself. Pretty inexpensive and saves money over time if you drink a lot of coffee. I absolutely would love to do that. But once again, I literally have no time. So it's either I'm working on the channel, working on other channels, taking the kids to school, taking the kids to sporting events, getting home, feeding them, bathing them, watching a little bit of YouTube before I go to bed. And then that's it. Those are my days. What I could do, though, is while I'm sitting at their sporting events or practices, I could be doing stuff like this to figure it out. But I generally don't spend any time on things that don't make me money. So everything I do is I try to do I don't spend time on non-revenue generating behaviors, because I gotta put the roof over the kids' heads. I gotta make videos for you guys. Anyway, I digress. You got me into the Emotiva XDA-3, XPA3, Wiim Ultra, Eversolo DMPA6, Jaden 2 coming, Speedwoofer, wow, and SU1. Man, that's a heck of a system. What are you getting the Eversolo for if you already have the Wiim Ultra? Are you just kind of trying to step it up a little bit? Speedwoofer is awesome. It's huge though. And you're getting another one, a 10E. Wow. SU1. I love it. Love it. Oh, a DO3 at 128. So I think that came out 3, if not 4 years ago. It's not bad. But what happened is the 3255 Texas Instruments amps came out. And most of the stuff from that era was based on Infineon chips, which weren't terrible, but they weren't great. They were very focused on the top end and had that very Class D broad strokes sound. So they were harsh, especially in the mid range and the top end. They didn't have a ton of dynamics. So when the 3255s came out, and I don't think anybody did this on purpose, but they sounded so much better, cleaner, very similar to a good Class AB amplifier. And when the YouTubers started raving about these 3255 amps, myself included, it really changed kind of the course of what type of amp chips the companies were putting in their products. And if you look at IEMA, if you look at the last 5-10 products they released, none of them have Infineon chipsets. Some of them have Maris chips, which are pretty good. They're better than like the Infineon 90. No, I can't remember. They're better than the Infineon chips from that era. But out of all those kind of all-in amps that came out from SMSL, that is probably one of the better sounding ones that came out. Personally, if it was me, I would look for something with a 3255 or 3251, anything that's the 3000 series from Texas Instruments. But the 55s have the benefit of putting out a ton of power if you have the right power supply on them. So that's what I would do. It's not a bad one. For $128, it's okay. I think it's the Emo or IEMA T9. It's a little one with a tube in it. And I think Duke Audio has one. That's a Texas Instruments chip. It's not the 55, but it's pretty good. I would steer you more towards that than the DO3. Anyway, how to size amp to DIY speakers. Take a look at the sensitivity, and this is, I mean, it doesn't apply to every situation, but take a look at whatever the sensitivity is on those speakers. If it's super low, you probably want something that puts out like a solid 50 watts. Yeah, that's what I would do. What is an R2R DAC? An R2R DAC is a DAC that uses stepped resistors to make the digital to analog conversion. It's how they used to do it back in the day. R2R DAC and so there's new multi-bit DACs that are basically stepped resistors, but on a chip. But an R2R DAC, like a Denafreps Aries, whatever generation they have, if you open up the hood, you'll just see resistors everywhere, a bunch of caps and everything. So it's using discrete parts to make the digital to analog conversion. A lot of people enjoy those. Most of those have pretty good power supplies, a lot of times toroidal power supplies in them. They have a very natural tonality most of the time and are quite good. But with the AKM 4499 coming out, and there's other chips out there that have been multi-bit chips, I think it's easier for companies to make a stepped resistor DAC using chips like the AKM 4499 coupled with the AKM 4191 to make a really good sounding DAC. And that's the way I would go, because the Denafreps, I think, comes in around $1,000, and it's great. But you can get something like the J3 from Gishelli Labs at $530, I think. That has the AKM 4499 and whatever other chipset, 4191, I think. And that also has the added benefit of being able to swap out op amps. And most of the true R2R DACs, you get what you get. But with the J3, you're coming in at almost half the price, and you have flexibility to have some fun in the future and try to kind of tailor the sound to what you like. I would look at op amps from Sparkos. I would also look at op amps from, oh my goodness, what's the other name? It's out of Australia. I have them somewhere. Burson, that's who it is. And then there's some other op amps out there. And there's even like some Texas Instruments op amps that you can look into that, you'll have to look into some of the forums and check out. But they're fairly inexpensive. And you can roll it that way. But I would just save up and go for something like the Sparkos, because they're really spectacular. Randy, I know a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy that can get you some good pens cheaply. Oh, I would love it. I've got good pens. I just don't have any ink in any of them. This is one of my favorite pens. This is actually from Ridge. Remember Ridge Wallet? So they used to do sponsorships with me. And then they fired me because apparently I wasn't doing a good job, but they used to send me all sorts of stuff. I don't necessarily think this is like the be all end all when it comes to pens, but it's super like tough. I left this one outside for 3 months. It was great. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Udi and Bashi gifted 5 cheap audio memberships. Whoa. Did you intend to do that? That's awesome. Thank you. I don't know what like gifting, what that means. Like, I don't even know what. So do you just pick people and gift it? gift memberships to them. That's super cool. Oh, my man, Chris Dugan. Do you like the Wotan more than the Vidar 2? Yes, I do. I absolutely do. So the Wotan, the Freya, whatever the latest iteration of the Freya, and the Gungnir was great. But even if you don't have the Gungnir in there, the sonic characteristic of the Wotan. Now, let me put a caveat on this because I never heard the Vidar 2. I've heard the Vidar 1. I've heard the what was the Class A one? Starts with an A. Anyway, I've heard the Vidar, Azir. I've heard the Azir, but the first ones. And while I can understand like how people love the sound, that house sound was a little bit mid-range focused for me. And some people love that, especially with like orchestral singer-songwriter. But for rock and roll, I always loved an amp that really had a lot of dynamics and a little bit of real punchy on the bottom. And I never got that vibe from any of the Shget products. So while I recognize that it's a great sound, it wasn't my favorite sound. Now I can divorce my bias from, still talking about how good of products that they make. But with the Wotan and the Freya, whatever it is, also don't like tubes. So anything that has tubes in it, I've never liked. But with the Wotan, Freya, and the Gungnir, man, it's more dynamic and not like overtly so. It's just a little bit of a move to being more dynamic. But the placement and soundstage that stack pulled off was next level. I mean, really, really good. This to me sounds like a lot of the Cambridge audio, the higher end Cambridge audio. So the EXN 100, CXN 81 Mark II, I think, gives me a similar vibe to the sound. Oh, the Evo 150 also. And these are $3,000, $1,200 integrated amps. And I know the Wotan's 2,000. This is a long way to say that I really like the sound of the Wotan, and it is different, not crazy different, but different enough from the Vidar 1 and the Azir 1, and even the big monoblocks that they had. That I really enjoyed the sound more than the other stuff. I'm not saying the other stuff is bad. I'm just saying that it was more my speed. So I like the Wotan a lot. It's expensive. It's heavy. I think it's worth it. But I really enjoyed it. With all that said, it's going to act differently depending upon what DAC you have on it or preamp or anything, because all that stuff makes a difference too. But I'm really impressed with the Wotan. Show SU1 for $35. That's a steal. I got mine for $55, I think. Where are you getting it for $35? That's crazy. My wife likes to give me shit because I watch all of your videos. Keep them coming. Man, take a break. You don't need to watch me all the time. There's a lot of garbage out there that I put out. CSS Crichton 1TD-X kit with high-end parts and easy buildability. There are a few options that you can consider in similar. Oh, are you answering a question about like the best DIY stuff? Yeah, I like the Crichtons. The owner of that company was actually a Navy nuke, a submarine Navy nuke like me. He was an officer though. I was just a enlisted sailor. Thoughts on small amp? I live in an apartment looking to power LRC. Is that LRS or LRC? If it's LRS, you're going to need something beefier than a small amp. LRC. Can you ask that again and specify LRC? Looks like Wiim just dropped another one. This time 100, 200 watts per channel amp with a Saber DAC, no streamer. Oh, vibe. I saw that. I saw that today. I didn't know what it was, so I didn't look at it. Whew. All right, sorry. Hey, we got a super chat. My man. No clue about the 5 memberships, but did want to support you. And consequently, The kind folk here. Man, you are very kind. And thank you for the super chat and for gifting the memberships. You don't like tubes? Oh, shit. We have to unsubscribe. They're not for me. I don't get it. Like, I've listened to, now maybe it's because I haven't listened to super high end tube amps. There's one that I thought was okay, and that is a Black Ice Audio. It's their most affordable tube amp. I think it comes in around $600 or $700. Puts out 10, 15 watts. I think that was the only one that I've listened to, and I've been like, okay, I can kind of get this. But most of the time, they're not for me. It just feels like it's just all forced mid-range down my throat. And I don't like that sound. And people that say that like tubes are warm. I've never had that experience. Tubes always sound not warm. They sound overtly forceful in the mid-range. Oh, left, right, center. Okay. Small amp, left, right, center. Well, it depends. If it's left, right, center, you're going to have some processing on the front end. So that looks to be like a home theater receiver. Now you could do that with the Schit Sin, which I think is on sale. If it's still available, you can do it with that. So the Schit Sin takes an optical input, and then it does multi-channel from that. And it's really useful, sounds good, and is a very easy way to do that. Now, it's only a processor, so then you would have to get three mono amps. If you want something small, I would look at the Sin, and then I would couple that with, and I'll show you. I would couple that with these, because we've gotten off track about the sales. So I would couple it with these. Here we go. So this is the IEMA A07 Max. Has the TPA Texas Instruments 3255. They're $73 right now, which is a great sale. This is already a really good sounding amp. So you'd have to buy 3 of these. And you get the Sin. Let's pull up the Sin. So the Sin's $299. Here, let me pull it up right here so you can see that. So the IEMA A07 Maxes are linked in the description, but this is the Sin. And what you do on the back here is you're going to have to take where is it? Right here. Now you can also do USB, but right here is the optical. So you take the optical from whatever source you have, or the USB from whatever source you have, and then you would use this as a preamp. Does it come with a remote control? I can't remember if it does. Yes, it comes with a really cheap, chintzy remote control, but I'm not using that as, I'm not saying that in a negative way, because this is $300 for a very usable DAC processor with a headphone amp in it, which sounds pretty good. So you would take this, and then you would take 3 of those A07 Maxes. So this is $300. What is the A07 Max? $74? Yeah, $74. So that's 210 plus 12. So 222 plus 300. So for $522, you would have this, and it would be pretty good. There may be other ways to do it, but I think this is the best way to do it at the best price. All right. Left, right, center. Don Smalden, new member. Let me pull that up. All right, Udian. I can't find that one. Maybe I already mentioned it. Ben Davis, $5. Sorry, amp for left, right, center. Yeah. It doesn't have to be small. Oh, okay. Well, if it doesn't have to be small, then here, get this one. Bear with me. It depends on your budget too. Good gravy, Emotiva. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. Why is it doing this to me? Here we go. We'll do it this way. Hey, X Series amplifiers 15% off. There you go. They're on sale. Gen 3. We want the basics. X Series. Man, I'm sorry. This is taking forever. All right. XDA3. I want amps, man. Shop all. Amps. Basics there. My goodness, finally. All right, $649. So that's not cheap, but you're going to get really usable power out of it. And it's got balanced. I didn't know this had balanced in it. I think monoprice also makes something. This is obviously going to be better than the AO7 Maxes, but it's going to be more expensive, of course, about $400 more expensive. So yeah. Let's see. Going to be at Munich. I don't think I'll be at Munich. I would love to go. This new Mumford & Sons is really good. Thanks for the heads up. I like Mumford & Sons. Not everybody does. Just got the shits in using 2 ZA3s and 2 V3 monos. Love it for surround, but just found out you can't use subwoofer with surrounds turned off. Huh. That's interesting. This is definitely a Randy sweet spot, putting together good sounding systems on a small budget. I do have a skill set. I've done it a few times. I have Lafayette tube amp. Sounds like 20 watts per sound. Beautiful bandwidth. Very warm and clear. Very nice. Maybe not. Scott Clark band. I don't know what that means. Any decent angle in ceiling speakers? I don't really get into that. I don't have much experience. I don't have any experience with it. I think Emotiva makes some in ceiling speakers. Denmark, what's up? But as far as ceiling speakers, I couldn't tell you. I would just look at something from a reputable place, like Emotiva. I think Polk makes some. I think there's a lot out there, but you're not going to have a cabinet. I mean, the bass is going to be weird. So I wouldn't like spend a ton of money on in ceiling speakers. If you're going to get them, just get something that from a reputable company, the cheapest ones you can get, because it's not going to make a difference. Thanks to you, I now hate my KEF Q350s. I need a warm speaker. Any suggestions? Yeah, the ELAC Debut 3.0. So the 6.5 inch version is $450, 5 1/4, $350. If you're on a tighter budget, you can look at the Mica. It's either the RB or the MB. It's about $100. It's the MBX or RBX Gen 2. It's not great though. It's fun, but it's not great. The ELACs are truly spectacular. KEF 350 isn't terrible. The 150 is the best one they've ever made, but the 350 is not terrible. Best DAC to pair with Wiim Ultra under $500. Well, if you can squeeze another $30, I would get the Gishelli Labs J3. You can also look at the J2s. If you get a J2, I would get the AKM 4493 DAC chip in there. And I think that comes in, if you want a USB, about $300. Let's see. You can also get just an SU1 for $80. That's pretty good. The thing about DACs is there's a lot of DACs out there. Most of them sound very similar. The SU1 is an outlier. I think it actually sounds better than more expensive DACs from SMSO. Oh, you can get this. This is pretty good too. Actually, it's real good. I can't see that. The Fosi Audio ZD3. I really, really, really like this. Sounds good, and it also has the HDMI. Yeah, sounds pretty good. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Don't forget the Emotiva amp is 15% off. That's right. 15% off right now. I don't know what 15% of 60 is. So what is it? That would be 600. That would be 60 plus $90 off. Wharfdales. Are you talking about warm? It depends on which one. Like the Denton 85th, I wouldn't consider warm. Linton, first gen, not super Linton, but Linton, the previous Linton, is somewhat warm. You can look also at the Diamond 12s, but I wouldn't consider those warm. Yeah. I would say they're more neutral than warm. Elacs are warm. Yeah. All right, we got that one. Polk ES20s. Oh yeah, they are. They've got a warm tonality to them. The 15s especially. I don't think I ever had the 20s, but the 15s have a little bit of warmth to them. They're nice. Killer budget system approved and tested to have high synergy. Wiim Pro streamer. Theo K11 R2R DAC. AIMA A07 Max. Sony SSCS5s. Yay. Emotiva A2M has an amp upgrade if budget allows. Killer. The A2L Plus is really good, and that's $350. I love it. How'd you get your Octopus shirt? Thank you. I remember sending yours, man. I was like, when I was looking in Shopify to send the orders, I'm like, hey, it's my man. Very good. Scott Clark, typing on my phone. All right, we're 52 minutes into this. We have a few left. Hey, you like Unify reference or CSST 1TDX? I would go with the 1TDX. I wasn't super impressed with the Unify reference. I think the Unify 2.0 is actually a better speaker than the reference. Maybe you get a little bit more bass, but there's not a lot of air on the top end in the Unify reference, where I feel like there is after break-in with Unify 2.0. So yeah. All right. Oh, are the XPAs 15% off, not the basics? Could be. Let's see what other. Oh, ZD3 is on sale. We're gonna bang out a bunch of these sales so y'all can see them. Great price on the ZA3, which means you can get a pair of these if you want to run them in mono for under $260. About $127. Good price on these. You can also run these balanced, which is cool. So yeah. All right, what else do we have? Whoopsie-daisies. Here we go. Oh, this thing exists. It's hard to recommend this now with all of the awesome. It's hard to recommend this now with all the awesome stuff from Fosi because AIMA, because those are legitimately like high-end sounding. This is $148. It's a full-size component, very warm sounding, but if you're looking for something traditional, especially if you don't care about like clarity and stuff, but maybe you listen to some old records or you listen to some stuff that's not recorded well, actually a pretty good deal. This used to go on sale down to $100, but that was like before we had all the crazy inflation. So $148 for this Sony, the S. I'm just going to call it the 190. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. We also have, this is not my favorite, but if you want Bluetooth, $85 for this is pretty good. You get tone controls. If you don't want Bluetooth though, and I'm not saying it's the same amp, but you can look at the Fosi Audio. Let's see. Fosi Audio TB 10D. It's on sale for $68, which is really crazy. Tone controls, the whole deal. ZA3 we talked about. I didn't love this thing, but I think some people loved it. And that is the A70. Now, the difference between this and a lot of other ones is it's got the PFFB, which I don't completely understand, but it's a different take on the 3255 that's supposed to be better. Like the new Wiim amp, the Wiim Amp Pro has this PFFB tech in it, but it's $33 off. So a lot of people liked it. I don't like the footprint. I don't like the way it's set up. So that's, that's on me. Some people may love this. It's got a sub out. What is it? Is that a high pass or a low pass? I think that's a low pass, which didn't make sense to me. But anyway, it's on sale too. Let's go here. Oh yeah, this is a fun one. This is the speaker switcher, VU3, which is pretty good. $127, not bad. There is a Duke Audio speaker switcher that I kind of like a little bit more because it's a little bit bigger. It's this one. I like this one a little bit more. Hey, it's on sale too. $135, which is fun. You can also change the color of the VU meters, which I like. It's also got a mic on it, so even if you don't have it hooked up to your system, you can just set it up there, turn on the mic, and it will move. But I use this all the time to AB speakers and amps. All right, here we go. TB10D, we already talked about it. This is another fun one. This product has been out for a long time, but it is definitely an upgrade from, look at that, I bought it in 2021. It is definitely an upgrade from a lot of the internal phono preamps that are going to be on some lower priced products. This is quite a bit of a step up from the internal phono preamp on the Wiim Ultra, and definitely a step up from any of the internal phono preamps on Audio-Technica turntables. So like the LP120, any of those, this huge upgrade. Warm, fun. You're going to lose a little bit of clarity, but you would have to step up all the way to something like the Hifi Zen phono to get something that sounds as pleasing. There's other stuff out there, but look at this, 2,800 almost 5-star reviews. Duke Audio also has one of these. It's got variable output gain, and for what? Oh, it's also got a 3.5 millimeter input. Anyway, this is great. I really like it. For $60, quite a good deal. And if you are if you're looking for a wireless headphone, both these Sonys, the 1000 XM4 and the 1000 XM5, are both on sale. Every once in a while, this one, I always have this in the cart and I've never pulled the trigger on it. I kind of want this one. The problem is I'm an Apple guy and my AirPod Pros hook up to my Apple TV and does the spatial audio kind of surround stuff, which is really good. Really, really good. All right. All those links are in the description. I'm going to maximize this now. We'll hit a few more questions and then I'm going to have to call this one a day. I also have an Apple TV 4K and love it as well. It has some nice video fidelity features, such as frame matching and switching between HDR formats. That's all we have in the house. I have tried to, so this has been my experience with like TV stream. First of all, I almost never use whatever the internal smart TV app is. I hate it. None of them have been very good. I've had Roku TVs. I've got a Google TV or Android TV, a big one, like a really nice TV in my living room. Don't use it. We use Apple TV 4Ks for everything because my experience has been very consistent with Apple TVs, even before 4Ks. They're easy to use, they're consistent, and they just work. And they're not laggy. I have this LG TV on my back porch, and it's unusable because it's so laggy. AMT tweeter, good or bad? Depends on the implementation, but Emotiva uses AMT tweeters on all their speakers, and they're very good. What is the other? It's like Golden Ear has an AMT tweeter, very good implementation. Wharfdale has the Evo series, the Evo 4.1. 4.1 and 4.2. Great implementation too. The problem with the AMT tweeters is usually you have to cross them over much higher than you will a soft dome tweeter or an aluminum dome tweeter. So what can happen is you get some woofer breakup. The lower you can cross a tweeter over as far as frequency, generally the more cohesive the handoff will be between the woofer and the tweeter. And so with the AMT tweeters, it's sometimes difficult because you have to cross it over higher. So you get some spikes and bumps and stuff from the woofer falling off to the tweeter. But Emotiva does a great job. Golden Ear, it's either Golden Ear or Golden Sound. I can't remember the difference. Does a great job. Wharfdale does a great job with the Evo series. So you can't just say, yeah, AMT tweeters are good. They are all good because you get some level of clarity, but depending upon how it's crossed over is going to make a big difference in the overall sonics of that speaker, if that makes sense. I love AMT tweeters. I love the Emotiva stuff. Been using Android box, so buggy. I believe it solves the USB clock issue. All right. We're going to call it, everybody. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on a Thursday morning. Thank you, everyone, for the super chats, the memberships. Y'all are awesome. And I hope you have a great rest of the week. More videos to come. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.